People, how are we? And welcome back to another installment of the Form Fix series. Obviously, the last one we did pec fly is super common to get wrong. And here it is, second in line, and a fucking close fight for first as well is pressing. So this is obviously shoulder pressing, but the cues I'm going to give you apply to any type of upper body pressing: shoulder or chest, machine, Smith machine, dumbbell, barbell, anything at all is going to help with that. And the way that I train, and the reason I talk this shit, is because in the first year or two of training, I tore my rotator cuff. And for any of you with healthy rotator cuffs, you will not know that if you ever tear your rotator cuff, that shit is going to follow you around for the rest of your life, unless you are extremely lucky. So that's why I train the way I train now. And that's why I do stuff like the Form Fix series and stuff like that. It's just to stop people from either injuring themselves or re-injuring themselves, as well as maximizing the return of investment you're getting from your exercise. Like, you don't want to jump on a machine and think you're giving it your all, when really what feels like your all is only 50% of, you want to just get the most out of what you're doing. Let's be fucking real. So before I start, you're going to see that I'm doing it's a supinated grip. You wouldn't do a pronated grip, but you have supinated or you have neutral grip, right? So palms facing out is how I'm doing it. Now, if I was ever going to go neutral grip, I would be doing another shoulder press exercise inside a shoulder workout, and that would just be a different angle. Now, if you struggle with shoulder pain, not always, but neutral grip will probably help you because it's going to force you into the cues that I'm giving you. However, if you're unaware of these cues, you might try and go against where it's putting you. And that's just basically elbows in, which is kind of what we're going to talk about today. So before I play the video, here's where most people press, right? So for shoulders or chest, all right, elbow out super wide, wrist stacked over it, in line with the shoulder. The problem with this is the most vulnerable part of all of that is the shoulder girdle or your rotator cuff or your shoulder, okay? Which is the one thing we don't want to fuck up, because if you fuck it up, like I said, you're not going to be able to do jack shit. A lateral raise with your fucking hands would be impossible. So we don't want that to happen. So that's what we're going to cover here. So supinated grip. And what you'll notice here is, I'm just going to play this and let it run. So what you'll notice here is that my elbows are actually tucked in. And it won't really, I picked a really bad fucking setup for this because it's a black backdrop and it's a black hoodie. And I'm mincing through that. These are warm-up sets. So elbows are stacked in instead of out. Okay, so like I showed you at the start, most people press here. Yeah, now I'm going to show you in a chest because it's going to be easier for you to see. But what I want is, as opposed to the elbow flared out, is I want the elbow to be tucked in. Okay, so in a chest press, as opposed to pressing this way, I want to be actually tucked in. And a good way of giving you an analogy for this is if you're barbell pressing for your chest. Okay, so if you're doing a bench press, what I want you to imagine is, as you got your grip, I'm going to go closer here. This is obviously not how I grip a fucking bar. But what I want you to think about is twisting the bar. So you're thinking about bending the bar. And what that happens is you're screwing your elbows in. And what will happen from there is, as opposed to pressing this way and elbow going out, your elbow's actually going to come in. Now, what will happen is, to an awful lot of you guys, when you start doing this, if you've not been doing it this way, is you're going to get a whole lot of triceps off this. And that's just a bit of a trade-off until you adjust properly. I was the same when I started doing this. My triceps were lighting up like a motherfucker for a week or two maybe, and then eventually it just stopped happening. And I actually found I was able to get more under the weight and get a little bit more strength out of it because I wasn't super vulnerable in the hole. I was way more kind of compact, and I had a whole body of surface area under what I was doing. So you're actually getting more output, you're getting more strength, and you're also mitigating injury as well. So like I said before, these cues apply to any type of pressing, whether it's shoulder pressing, chest pressing, on a bar, with a dumbbell, with a machine. You always, always, always want to lock the elbows in and think about rubbing your bicep, right? The inside of your bicep off the inside of your lat. That's what you're looking for. You're nearly rowing it down. Fucking camera is not big enough. So over here, as opposed to going out this way and elbows flaring out, I want to bend the bar, elbows come in, drive down, up. You'll notice in the pec fly video as well that I was talking a lot about head movements. So when I'm in the stretch, right? In the stretch, head goes forward, and as I come up for a squeeze, head goes back. Same thing, and I actually mentioned this on the pec fly video. Oh, we need to knock the whole shit over. If you have a bar in your hand, you're going to grip it the width that you grip it at. You're going to think about bending the bar, so you're twisting your elbows in, and you're going to rub the bicep off the inside of the body, but your eyes are also on the bar. So as the bar comes down, your head is lifting up, elbows are tucked in, and this here is going to be the most powerful position that you can be in to initiate a press up to the top. From here, you're going to push the bar away, elbows stay in, head goes back, lats roll under, and help lift the pecs up so that you're getting more out of the pec. And likewise with the shoulder, as opposed to coming down here and being super vulnerable and having nothing but my shoulder girdle to push off, I'm going to come in a little bit more. I'm going to have my triceps, my arms, my forearms, everything, and then straight back up to the top. Now, head movement, not so much with the shoulder pressing, but you're going to do that way more with the chest pressing, because your shoulders at the top, they're exposed, so you're not needing anything out of the way. Whereas when you're doing chest, the one thing that's going to get in the way for most guys is their delt. So that's why we always shoulders back, shoulder blades back into the back pockets, pick the sternum up, chest is the front thing, bend the bar, elbows come in, and again, everything is just falling underneath the pecs as you're pressing up. So that is your form fix for shoulder and chest pressing. Stay tuned for the next one. Appreciate the support in the first one. If you have anything that you want me to cover, drop it in the comments, drop it in a DM, and drop it around to the gaff. You know what I mean? It's all good. We're all friends here. And yeah, that'll be me. Till next time, people.